Hello, everyone. Welcome to another talk. We had some technical issues and had to start again here, but that's okay. So we're going to go over some of the basic, or not basic, but some of the things that we talked about this week. So I'll start with, I believe it was Monday. We talked about some chords and things, and so I thought, well, we'll take a look at that and see if we can maybe gain a little bit more out of that as well. Think about what we can do with that. So just in a general sense, we've been talking about nuage a lot, but just outside of that tune, let's think about a key area. Say key of G. And we can survey some of these chords. So here I'm playing a G6 chord, right? The A minor, B minor, C6, D minor, E minor, and we go way up here. Okay, which we can also play in first position. So there's just a quick survey of the chords, just strictly in the key of G. So one thing that you can do, which we did in the talk, was to think about having a diminished chord in between a few of those chords. So we had A minor 7, and we had A sharp diminished going into B minor 7. And we even talked about some different things with that B too. So the B and the G have some similarities. So if I play a first inversion here of a G major 7, something pretty similar to B minor 7. If I play first inversion of G6, we get that, so that's also a little similar. Okay, so kind of similar sounds. Okay, so we can use these diminished chords to start walking us in between. So we saw in the tune a couple of instances where we had this sort of motion. Okay, I'm playing those notes individually so that they all show up very clearly on the MIDI neck, and also so you can hear them well on the podcast. All right, and then there are, kind of different things that we could do. Also, we talked about the minor 6, and walking up, maybe walking back down, or maybe even going up. Okay, so in the practice, playing drop 3 voicings here, but also try and drop 2 voicings. Will also just kind of help equip you with these different little things. So if you sit on a chord for a good period of time, then you can add a little interest by just creating a little bit of movement. And you can even do that in soloing as well. Okay, so that's kind of the thing there. So try to, let's say, do drop 2 type voicings. Let's say the middle 4 strings in whatever key you're working in this case G. And see if you could play around with using the chord and then the diminished chord in between. So the root note is kind of chromatically sitting in between some of the chord tones too. All right, so another little thing that we did was looked at a special technique or a specialized technique where we take a note and we create a harmonic. So one thing that you could try to do is see if you can maybe play a scale. So let's say G, we're in G, so. Okay, so you could just kind of work through that. All right. So there's going to be a point where it's going to be hard to go too high up in this direction, although you could start working up. You'll see what you can do. But it gets a little tough to ring some of those notes out a little higher up. But so we talked about that as a technique that that can help to add some variety to the sound if you're playing one instrument. So you could do call and response like I did earlier in the week and different things like that. So that's a pretty cool thing. And if you get really far into it, which I have to say I have not really, you can work up little techniques too like this, where you can play maybe like a chord and create these nice harp-like kind of sounds. Let's see here. Let's try this. So kind of a just a neat thing to try out, and musicians like Lenny Breau really kind of got that to a point where they really had that going in their playing, could play that fluently. But that's kind of the idea there, to do all that. And then we talked about as well melodic structures, which I've been enjoying sharing over the last at least maybe about a year or so, as sort of a way to work with chord changes. So that is kind of a nice way to come up with things that follow a particular chord change as well. So we had a few groupings of that. We had the major, which you can use on obviously a major chord, but also a dominant seventh type chord. And then alterations of that for just one, maybe flatting the 9. And we talked about some of the advantages of that. So it sort of forces you into playing the fourth as long as you delve into some of the inversions and things. So it gives you a little larger interval group, at least in one moment, than the others. And talking about how might you handle the A half diminished, right? And also just minor. I shouldn't say just minor, but all right. Well, I'll do a little playing break here, and see how that goes here. I've been facing a lot of kind of technical issues, but hopefully things are going okay. I'm gonna just mute the strings for a second, make sure everything's tuned up. I've been prepping for some tunes and stuff, so for a gig this weekend, and there's a good bit of rock tunes and stuff, so I plan to use this one, and so I've been kind of bending at those strings, so I'm tuning a little more often than I normally would. All right, so hopefully all goes well with this. A lot of technical problems today, but so far things are kind of going all right. Okay, so mention a little bit here. Oops. Going through the a little more of my rock setup, also with the amps too, but so it's a little funny to play with this, but still feels like there's a little gain going on. Okay, so what else did we talk about? Well, we talked about the melodic structures, and then we talked a little bit about pentatonics, which, a lot of these things kind of overlap too. So when you think about melodic structures, you might think about triads. When you think about pentatonics, you might think about triads. You might think about melodic structures. Oftentimes the way I think about some of these things is just think about the number of notes in a given thing that we're discussing. So 5-note kind of scales, working at, and we talked a little bit about why that might be beneficial. As guitarists, it helps us play in a position and play through a scale, and you're not, you kind of have this 2 notes per string sort of thing going on. So it's kind of helpful in that way. And similar to the melodic structures, we talked about how we might change them or edit them or use different types. So major, kind of pentatonic. And even if it doesn't include, say you're thinking G major 7, even if it doesn't include that major 7, that works too. But you could try to include it, using a different pentatonic like the D major pentatonic or something like that. Kind of placing that over the G. All right, so let's see, we'll spend a little more time playing a little bit, and I'll see if I can work in a little bit of some of those melodic structures and pentatonic type scales. thanks so much for checking out this weekend review here. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're enjoying all the talks and lessons and things going on here. Really appreciate your support. So a little bit of a busy weekend, so probably won't get a new video out till Monday. But hope to see you all then. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I'll be glad to get back to you and or do a video that involves a little something that you're mentioning. All right, everybody. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.